Hi there and welcome to the channel. I'm Slate and this is a Watcher of Realms video. This weekend we have one of the most hyped ancient banners with the release of the brand new Piercer Lord Iovar alongside GVG favourite Carnelian. I've seen a lot of videos looking at whether you should summon and how good Iovar is, as well as others suggesting that you might want to save your summons for future banners. So I kind of thought that it might be helpful for those who haven't decided yet to have a look at some of the arguments for and against summoning for Iovar. All the videos mentioned will be linked in the description below, and I highly recommend you check them out for yourselves too. Anyway, let's start with the kit review. Back in March we got a first look at Iovar's kit from Fastidious. This was really exciting, especially as the main highlights are the fact that he has a bonus damage on his Lord skill, as well as his own potential damage dealing capabilities. Combine this with the fact that he's a marksman means he could be more useful in content over Aracha and different things like that. On the other hand, Bluntguts points out in his video that the wording on Iovar's unique Lord skill is kind of ambiguous and may not be as helpful as it suggests. He also points out that his talent may need a full team of marksmen to really reach that max potential, and this would then limit where he can be used to his own maximum benefit. So that begs the question of, well, where can Iovar shine? Let's start with having a look at the Piercer content. Mainly in particular Gear Raid 3, which has some of the best gear pieces in Watcher of Realms. When you're trying to go for those later stages 18 to 21, you really do need an extended range. I'm sure someone out there has a video that shows how you could do this without it, but I'd say most comps rely on this extra range. That said, you don't need Iovar to get this, as both Aracha and the Epic Lunaria provide this to the rest of your marksman team. On the other hand, War Guide shows how Iovar can free up a slot in Gear Raid 21, as well as replace Silas in that middle section versus the boss, and this could really help you if you are pushing later stages and need an additional unit. For example, if you're struggling for damage, this could mean that you could bring an extra piercer, or if you are needing what I'd call a damage booster, you might be able to bring both Autumn, Laurel and Dolaris. That's going to be it for the Gear Raid 3. One of the other areas that is predominantly piercer focused is the brand new Furious Torrent boss in Immortal Codex. Now, this isn't yet live, and so we don't actually have really anything but speculative information, but given that this new boss is predominantly marksman and also is only platform units, Iovar will definitely have an advantage over Aracha because he can be placed, whereas Aracha at the moment just sits pretty. And because of all this, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next rotation that we get this boss, we see some Iovar teams putting out some absolutely incredible damage. Now, on to Guild Boss, which I would say is probably one of the most important aspects of Watcher of Realms, in terms of the fact that you want to be pushing for that 50k chest in Nightmare 4. Now, looking at the meta teams for Guild Boss, it's a combination of Infernal, Nightmare and Piercer in the main, and obviously, like I said, the main goal is for you to reach that 50,000 blood in Nightmare 4 to make sure you get top chest rewards. Both Fastidious and War Guides show how Iovar can be used, and he does more damage in Guild Boss than Aracha and also boosts the rest of the team much higher. This really could be the difference between you reaching that top chest or not. However, all that said, if you've already hitting 50k, unless Guild Boss is your thing and you want to sort of go for the records, I don't necessarily see how Iovar is needed, especially as he himself doesn't reach the damage levels of what I would consider the top Guild Boss heroes, such as Hex, Silas and Zillatu. At the end of the day, he's still a support unit, but he's a better support unit than, potentially Aracha. Now moving on to the arena arguments. Jay and Geo did an in-depth test comparing Aracha and Iovar in the anti-air arena. Their results showed that there wasn't a huge difference between the two teams, except for in the final round, where the Iovar team is significantly faster, and that could make all the difference. I would also say that they concluded that overall Iovar was the better option and had more potential for future updates. However, as someone who doesn't enjoy Arena, this really wouldn't be the reason that I would be tempted to summon for Iovar. I also don't really see how they will ever be able to make the Arena game mode as compelling as it is in other gacha games such as Raid Shadow Legends, given the tower defense style that is Watcher of Realms. And so with that PvP sort of on the bench, let's now look at the final game mode and what I would consider the best PvP experience in Watcher of Realms, and that is GVG. Now, I haven't yet seen any videos highlighting specifically Iovar's use or potential, in Guild versus Guild, and I'm not sure in what we will see until the top guys and gals start experimenting and creating some incredible teams. But I will say, given how amazing a Ratchet is in GVG and what she brings to the table, especially as pierces are some of the most difficult or challenging units to get past, I think there is a real potential for Iovar to be very interesting in GVG. Only time is going to tell exactly how meta he's going to be, but it is incredibly exciting. So overall on game modes, there are equal arguments for and against summoning for Iovar, as it really does depend on your own account, your progression level and goals. Given that Iovar is an ancient lord, Ronaldo Plays makes an interesting point that you may want to save your summons for a different exclusive lord, such as Valderon or Praetus, who, according to leaks that have been online, are, due to be coming soon. Speaking of leaks, Destin recently ranked all the lords, and he ranked Iovar as one of the best lords in the game, which would suggest it is worth going for him, even if you do have a Ratchet. I'm not sure I entirely agree with all of his views, but it is an interesting perspective nonetheless. Overall, I really do think deciding to summon comes down to a couple of things. Number one, do you have the resource available, and or are you willing to spend to get them? What benefit do you see Iovar bringing to your account, and are you summoning because of FOMO or because you want to go for it? Personally, I will be summoning for him. I have 53 and I am excited to see what I get, especially as I am very excited at the prospect of getting Carnelian. I do think Iovar will be worth it, and I also think a lot of the creators that I've mentioned, even though they do pros and cons, I think the overall impression is that he is a decent hero. He is an exciting new Lord hero, so it's just whether or not he's worth it for your own account. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up for now. Please let me know in the comments below what you decided to do in the end, and I wish you the best of luck with your summons if you're summoning this weekend. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.